According to recent estimates, about a third of the shallow water drilling fleet has been benched by the White House's drilling moratorium. Could the moratorium not only cost thousands their jobs, but cripple the Gulf economy? Let's ask John Rind, president and CEO of Hercules Drilling, and Randy Stilley. He's the president and CEO of Seahawk Energy. Both companies are shallow water drillers. Thanks, gentlemen. We've heard the Deepwater Horizon explosion accident. We heard about the moratorium on deep water permits, but shallow water permits are being affected as well. Let me start with you, John. Tell us the story. What's the latest on it?
Well, the moratorium for shallow water drilling was lifted on May 28th, and since then we've had approximately about 17 permits to let shallow water jackups drill in the Gulf of Mexico, and out of a fleet of about 48 jackups, currently, as you said in your intro, that's about a third of the fleet now is idle waiting on permits. And by the end of August, we estimate with no new permits, about almost 80% of the current active fleet will be idled in the Gulf of Mexico.
And Randy, that's concerning because that's quite a bit of, number one, it's a number of jobs, but also quite a bit of oil that we may be accessing. Is that right, sir?
Well, it's not just oil, but it's a lot of natural gas as well, and it's certainly a number of jobs. If you think about a typical drilling rig, it's about 100 direct jobs on each rig. And we've probably lost somewhere over 2,000 jobs already because we don't have permits for those rigs to drill right now.
What is the reason for the moratorium, or at least the lack of approving these permits?
Well, officially there is no moratorium on shallow water drilling. I think the administration and the Department of Interior and the Bureau of Ocean Energy all realize that shallow water drilling is inherently safe. And in fact, if you look back over the past 15 years, we've only had 15 well control events in the Gulf of Mexico after drilling approximately 11,000 wells. And those 15 events, which would be similar to what you'd have right now with this blowout, we've only spilled a total of 15 barrels of oil in 15 years.
Okay, John, let's talk about this a little bit. You put together a group, I guess a few CEOs, who said, hey, why are we under this same kind of, even if it's not an official moratorium, some sort of moratorium, at least some sort of slowdown in permit approval, why are you? Have you gotten any answers from the White House?
Yes, we've had good conversations and good meetings with the Interior Department, and just as recently as Friday had a very successful first step meeting with the Bureau of Offshore Energy Management in trying to rectify and clarify. We had good first steps on Friday, and hopefully we're making progress to get these very dedicated workforce back to work and getting the rigs lined up on wells to drill.
Hey, Randy, Interior Secretary Ken Salazar is meeting with, I guess, the commission that was put together regarding the Deepwater Horizon spill. This is the guy who you have to go to and say, hey, we want these permits, we want to push these through. He's asking that commission whether deep water drilling is safe. Now he's going to make a decision on whether shallow water drilling is safe as well.
The Secretary on numerous occasions has reiterated that he believes shallow water drilling is safe and there's no moratorium there. The problem we have is just bureaucratic delays and issues with understanding of the new regulations that they've implemented over the past 2 months. And it's made it very difficult for our customers, the oil and gas companies that we work for, to obtain permits to drill new wells. In fact, there's only been one permit for a new well to be drilled in the past 2 months.
And John, you're shaking your head. You agree that they understand it's safe, but yet it still is a delay to get a permit approved.
Yes, and as Randy said, I mean, we're working through the process, and if you look at just the number of jackups operating in the Gulf or poised to operate in the Gulf and only one permit, I mean, that's why, as you said in your intro, about a third of the fleet is currently idle. And as I said earlier, we're about to run into about 80% of the fleet being idle.
Well, John, aren't you mad?
Job loss.
Aren't you ticked off? Where's the outrage? Where is it you coming on camera saying, hey, let's get this thing moving? What's the holdup?
We are a little upset, and it's more upset that the job loss and the impact of it, specifically the Louisiana economy, that they're already suffering very deep economic loss because of the spill, and this is a double down effect by taking the one chance of a livelihood up and down the coast. And we just saw this morning that the June jobless rate came out, 125,000 jobs lost. There's no sense. We've proved, as Randy said, over the last 60 years, we've drilled almost 50,000 wells, and we've had nominal spill, as Randy said, 15 barrels.
Take it from where John leaves off. Aren't you upset? Because I'm upset. Because here I've been following oil for 23 years, and this looks certainly like someone, the White House saying, hey, we're going to slow down these permit approval processes, making sure that these drillers, they may take it one step further and say, you know what, we're not going to approve the permits the way we used to. Aren't you upset? Are you worried that that could affect your livelihood, your jobs, the Gulf Coast, Texas, Louisiana, everyone along the Gulf Coast?
Yeah, I'm definitely upset, and I think you're quite right. It's already starting to affect our business. It's having an impact on our employees and the people that support our business and jobs all along the Gulf Coast. It's unnecessary. We did have a serious accident in the Gulf of Mexico. We all understand that. But to just have a blanket situation where you say, okay, we're going to slow down drilling, we're going to stop drilling in deep water, we're going to slow it down in shallow water, it's unnecessary. We didn't have an incident in shallow water. We shouldn't be penalized for that.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. John Rinn and Randy Stilley, thanks a lot, guys. You'll come back and let us know when those permits get approved, will you?
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it.
Thank you.